If you want to know how to fix all duplicate page plugin errors within WordPress, now I'm going to teach you a series of simple, hassle-free steps to correct any error that may be appearing within your website. I will show you some steps that will guide you throughout the correction process, without you having to waste your time looking for other solutions. Everything in a more didactic and complete way, without the need for any type of advanced knowledge. Here's a very important step that you cannot neglect. Use good website hosting. 90% of the problems we encounter on WordPress sites are always related to the hosting company. In some cases, the PHP version is out of date. In other cases, PHP does not have an extension allowed or features are missing. Therefore, we recommend Hostinger servers so that you can use PHP in your hosting company, regardless of which country in the world you are in. They have multi-language support, and they serve the entire world. They have a specific plan for WordPress with management, and it is one of the best plans for WordPress. We tested several sites within these plans. From the initial plan, you can host from 100 websites, and they are compatible with absolutely everyone. All the plugins we have tested to date, we have not found any plugin that does not work within the Hostinger environment. They also have a system within the panel to check viruses within WordPress installations, make updates within the panel, and check plugin compatibility, which will help you resolve most problems. There's a link in the description, and if you're purchasing an annual plan or longer, use our link to support our channel. One very important thing, as Rotchinger has a money-back policy if you don't like the product, you can simply do the following. By hosting from Rotchinger, install a WordPress site. Install all the themes and plugins you have on your current website. Check if it will work. If it works, you know the problem is with your website hosting and it's time for you to migrate. All you have to do is bring your website to Hostinger. Even Hostinger does the migration for you free of charge. All you have to do is join one of their plans. I recommend Cloud Startup for sites that need more performance, and call the support team, and they will help you with the migration process. Before making any changes, you must back up your environment. It is very important to have a backup of your website. Even if it has a problem, make a backup of the website to its current state. You can ask your hosting company's support team, or you can hire Hostinger, link in the description, and you can have their automatic backup. Backing up on the Hostinger panel is very simple to do. I'm going to teach here, and almost every hosting company is the same. Within your hosting company's dashboard, you go to Files, and you will have the Backups option. Coming here to the Backups option, I can click on Create New Backup. I come to Select. It warns me that it will overwrite the previous backup. Continue, and it starts creating my backup. I have to wait until this backup is complete, so I can start making the changes that will fix the problems with the plugins and themes within my website. Okay, backup completed. Now you can go to your website, make the necessary changes. If you have a problem, it's very simple to restore the backup. You can come here to restore the website. Select the date of the backup you made. Click on Restore, and it carries out the entire process. This said hosting. If you are using another hosting company, just contact technical support, and they will help you resolve the issue and perform a restoration if necessary. This is the first step to solving problems. In fact, if you have a problem and don't have any new information on the site, you can try restoring old backups to see if it fixes the problem you're getting. Another step is to change the browser you are using. I know this step seems obvious, but in many cases it solves problems. Let's test. Let's go. Let's select the browser we were using previously, copy the URL, and simply paste it into another browser. It can be any browser, and on your computer, you certainly have more than one browser. If you are using Windows, it comes by default with Microsoft Edge. If you're on Mac OS, you have Safari. If you're using Linux, it comes standard with Firefox. You can switch between browsers to see if the web page opens. Another important tip is to try to open the same page on your cell phone. Another way to fix errors is to deactivate or change the theme that WordPress is currently using. Let's go. If you have access to the panel, you will do it in a very simple way. Appearance, Themes. Select a different theme and click Activate. Thus, the theme will be activated, and this will change the entire interface of the website. By doing this, you can access your website and check if it works again. Okay, if you don't have access to the WordPress panel, you can also do this through the doubles bank. Let's go step by step. The first thing you have to do is open your hosting file manager so we can check what other themes you have installed. Go to publica.html, go to the WP content folder, go to the themes folder. And inside the folder, you will see all the themes. These themes are the default WordPress themes. Okay. Now let's go to your hosting panel and locate your database. Okay, PHPMyAdmin. And let's go into PHPMyAdmin to be able to modify your database. We are going to look for a WordPress table that is responsible for changing the default WordPress theme. Let's go here to our database. We have the options table, and we're going to look here for the themes table. Let's switch here to page 2. No. And here we find the template and style sheets. Here are the two tables you need to change your WordPress theme. So let's go. Let's assume I don't want to use this theme because this theme is causing a problem on my website. I can come here and get the name of another theme, clicking here on Rename. Copy the theme name, cancel it. Come here, double-click, and change the theme name. Down here, again, changing the name of the theme. I click off the screen, and that's it. The two lines were swapped and changed. When I go back to my WordPress, I will notice that the theme that is active now is again this theme here. So, by doing this, I changed the active theme, and if the active theme was generating any type of error within my WordPress, I just correct it. Once this is done, I either change the theme of my website or I update the theme that was causing the problem. In some cases, simply clearing the cache solves problems within WordPress. So what are we going to do? By clicking here next to the refresh button, we go to Site Settings, go to Delete Data, delete the data, reset the permissions, and reload the page. But instead of clicking the reload button, I'm going to press it on the keyboard. Control and the F5 key so that I can do a reload without cache. Once this is done, the page will be reloaded without using the cache, and if I have any problems caused by the cache, it will be resolved. Changing the PHP version can be one of the important steps in fixing a problem on your WordPress website. Regardless of whether the problem is with a theme or a plugin, the PHP version must be compatible with it. Let's go. Accessing the dashboard of my hosting system, I can go to Advanced, the PHP configuration, and choose the version of PHP I want to use. Each hosting company has a different panel, but they all have the option to change PHP versions. Currently, PHP 7.4 is the most compatible with all WordPress themes and plugins. PHP 8.0 performs well within WordPress, but it still has some incompatibilities with some themes and plugins that the developers haven't updated yet. So, we recommend that you switch to PHP version 7.4. Click Update so that it applies the change. Wait about 3 minutes and try again to access your website, remembering to clear the cache every time you make a change. A more advanced way to identify errors in WordPress is to use WP Debug. Let's enable this feature within WordPress. In your hosting panel, go to Files, File Manager, and access your hosting's file manager. Access the public HTML folder. Inside the public HTML folder, look for the WP config file. Double-click on it to open the editor, and we'll scroll to the end of the file. Before the last line, we will add 3 lines of code to define the debug. These are 3 lines of code that I just pasted. These lines of code will activate the debug and will save the log file in a folder that I will show you. Let's save the file. To close, now your log will be inside the WP content folder, and a file called debug.log will be created every time WordPress throws an error. I don't have any files in here because my WordPress doesn't have any errors. So that's why I don't have anything in the folder. It's clean. But if my WordPress had any error, the debug.log file would be created here, and I could look inside the log to see what is causing this error. One way to fix problems is also by changing the permissions of the folders where your plugin was installed. In many cases, a person unzips a zip file directly into the WordPress folder where the plugin is located, and this changes the permissions and folder owner, causing critical errors within WordPress. Let's go back to our hosting company's dashboard. I came to Files, File Manager. Access our File Manager. Our File Manager. Go to Public HTML. Access WP content. Go to the Plugins folder, and here we find all the plugins installed within WordPress. Note that they have specific folder permissions. This is the folder permission pattern within the web. If your directory is not with these permissions, you can right-click, you can come to Permissions, and change the permissions. Note that the permission is 755. If I check any box, I change the permissions. The default is 755. Check the recursive, directories, and files option and click Update. Important: if you want to keep the original state of the folder, before making the change, you can right-click, come to Archive, select the file format, and it will create a backup for you with the original state. Here the permission is different, but within this zip file, the permissions remain the same as they are on your screen. Time is money. If you need a team to solve problems with your applications, your infrastructure, and your web application, contact us. The link in the description has our calendar open to the public with hours and days that you can select. Check out and receive our exclusive service from a bunch of technology-mad people for a client who needs it. Your time is worth a lot to us. If you don't want to, that's okay. Just watch the video until the end, and I'm sure you'll be able to solve your problem. If you want to make money solving WordPress problems, there's a link in the description that will take you to the best training there is. I want you to think about the following. What do you think is most likely? That someone pays you $1,000 for a website that they don't even know if they need? Or that someone who already has a website working and has a problem pays you $1,000 to solve it? Solve problems with tools that already exist. It is a huge and little explored market. You have the opportunity to work on the urgency, the need of businesses that are already active. Click on the link in the description, and I'm sure you'll like it. And if none of the other steps in this video were able to fix your problem, I will now teach you the final step, what you can do if none of our steps were able to solve your error. Let's go. I will teach you how to contact duplicate page support. Let's go. I'll leave the link here to the WordPress.org website directly in the first pinned comment. Going to the link, logging into our WordPress.org account, we go to support. Going to support, we will create a topic, which is nothing more than a support ticket that you will send directly to the team for duplicate page that will answer. Okay. First thing, Let's add a title that will explain to them what you are having. What is the purpose of this ticket you are sending and what error you are having? In the simplest way possible that you can put it. He also added the link to his website and now our little golden key, our little golden key, our little golden key, our link and now our little golden key, our link to his website. The most important subject of this tip, which is the copy that I will also leave for you in the pinned comment, which will basically have ready for you everything you need to say about your environment, about the error you are having in order to help the developer who will help you, who will try to help you resolve your error, respond to you as quickly as possible, understand as best as possible what error you are having, and respond to you as soon as possible. Let's go. The first thing I'm going to do that I left here ready for you to put in is the name of your hosting company, which in the case I'm going to put in here is Hostinger. There you will enter the version of your PHP, the version of WordPress you are running within your environment, and the version of the plugin you are running. Ready. We will put all this, and now we will specify which plugins we have within our website. Whether or not they have any connection with the plugin that is giving the error, is it worth mentioning all the plugins that are on your website? Okay, but they can cause something like program, even if they have no connection between them. If you have a cache plugin, I tell you to put it separately and make it clear whether it is active or not at the time you are receiving this error. Okay, because this can also be very disruptive and cause the error you are having. In the previous steps, I taught you how to activate WP debug. Because of this, I will ask you to put any type of information that WP debug has given you also within this support message, because this can help the developer to understand the error you are getting. Okay, so also add the debug, and finally, we will put 2 little sentences here explaining to the support team what tool you are trying to use from the plugin, what it should do, and how it is actually working, and what is the error you are receiving when you're trying to use the plugin. Okay, because this will explain it to them. You do it step by step and explain to them all the problems you are receiving, how they are being generated. Okay, and that's it. We will also put some tags here to give you a better idea of what this is. And finally, you have some boxes that you can check before sending this ticket that will basically give him some more information about what you wrote. I think these 2 won't be important. You can read them and see if it's worth marking, but I do think it will be useful for you. I recommend that you mark the last one because it will allow WordPress.org to notify you by email. When your ticket is answered, you can now submit, but before that, I will ask you to do something very important whenever you send any type of message to any type of support within the web. You must use English because English, it is the most spoken language in the world and is the main language used on the web. So it is very important to facilitate and speed up the support process. You write this message in English, and that's it. You can submit it, and you will have come into direct contact with our plugin support. You can submit it then, and that's it. The video will stay here. Thanks. Said.